We will call this regular public meeting of the Board of Trustees of Humboldt Independent School District to order, moving to our first item of business, closed session. A closed session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for this meeting. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote will be required with regard to any matter considered in such closed session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote will be made upon reconvening of this public meeting in open session. The time is 6:01. The time is 7:04. We will now reconvene into open session. Thank you for joining us tonight. Remember that the meetings of the board are open to the public, but are not a meeting of the public. The Humboldt ISD Board of Trustees meets monthly in a regular meeting to receive reports from staff and take action from recommendations of the superintendent. The board receives the agenda and all supporting documentation several days in advance of the regular meetings, which allows us to ask and receive answers to many of our questions in advance of the regular meeting. Therefore, lengthy discussions are not always necessary on every agenda item, but as a board, we do have the appropriate knowledge and preparation for responses regarding the content of the meeting tonight. There are students and other guests present. To maintain decorum, respectful behavior is expected. Disruptive behavior and/or comments will not be allowed. And with that, our first item. Would everybody please stand for the presentation of the colors and our pledges? Lead our pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving to our next agenda item, commendations and recognitions. Dr. Brown.
Yes.
Can you please introduce tonight's inspiring moments?
I would be happy to do that. So this school year is special because we're opening Lake Houston Middle School, which is our 11th and final middle school to be built in Humboldt ISD. And tonight, our inspiring moment takes us into the halls of the Hawks.
Oh, hi there. I'm Principal Peter, and welcome to Lake Houston Middle School. It's been the most incredible year opening Humboldt ISD's 11th and final middle school. We've made a lot of really big decisions.
Can you sound this really quick?
I loved partnering with our community to select the best mascot. Let's go Hawks! We've purchased furniture, selected school colors, that one. And of course, we've hired the most incredible and talented staff. Now it's time for you to learn more about this amazing school and meet some of our amazing staff. It's time for the first ever episode of Hawks in the Hall. Let's go! Oh my goodness! It's Miss J, one of our science teachers here at Lake Houston.
Hi.
Welcome to Hawks in the Hall. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, Miss Peter. Here, safety first.
Oh, yes. Let me put on my safety goggles. Are you so excited about working here at Lake Houston Middle School?
I am so excited and ready for the doors to open.
Is it true you are going to begin our very first step team here at Lake Houston?
Yes, ma'am, the flight crew.
I'm ready to try out. Can I show you what I've been working on?
Absolutely.
Please hold my mic. Yeah! Beautiful, beautiful, great. Do you think I'll make the team?
You know, you just might. You got to try out.
I'm gonna go practice some more. Bye, Miss J. Let's go! Hi, Miss Johnson.
Oh, hey, Miss Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking.
Welcome to Hawks in the Hall. This is Miss Johnson, our culinary teacher here at Lake Houston Middle School. Why are you excited about working here at Lake Houston?
Well, I have a passion for education and a passion for cooking. So combine those two together, and I'm here.
Sounds delicious. What are we baking today?
We're baking my famous chocolate cake. You want to do the honors and get out the oven for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
What are we baking this year in culinary?
Oh, we're going to learn how to make homemade flour tortillas, breakfast tacos. I also might teach them how to do dipped chocolate-covered strawberries, anything that the kids want to learn how to make and take them further in life.
This looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Will you save me a piece?
I sure will.
Let's go. Hey, band.
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Morris. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Great. How are you, Miss Belvin?
So great.
Welcome to Hawks in the Hall. We're here with our band directors at Lake Houston Middle School. Why are you excited about band this year?
We're so excited to meet all of our students that are going to be coming to us to open this brand new school, and we're just excited to make music and have a great time this year.
I'm excited too. I brought my tambourine. I've been practicing for band. Do you think I have a chance at making band?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go practice now. Let's go!
Ah. 115.
That's it. Good job.
Thank you.
Hey there, coaches! Welcome to Hawks in the Hall. How are you doing
We're
today?
doing well. Miss Peter, how we doing?
We're here with our athletic coaches, Coach Dick and Coach Armstrong. They're getting pumped for the school year. Are you ready to open Lake Houston Middle School?
Are so excited. We cannot wait to see our athletes and students fly in the halls.
What kind of season will we have this year?
We are looking for an undefeated district season.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a wrap for Hawks in the Hall. My vision for Lake Houston Middle School is to create an environment where children know they are loved and they are seen. They know that they have adults who care for them. We want to create an environment of creativity and help students become confident, capable, and compassionate individuals. When I was going through the hiring process, I was really looking for individuals who are passionate about education and have a true love for kids. It is something truly amazing to navigate students through this adolescent time, and you really have to have a heart for kids. To be a middle school educator, you also have to be a little bit quirky and weird, but overall, you need to know that today and every day you are showing up to give your best self to kids so we can create the best opportunities for them. This year, the thing I am looking forward to the most is the daily interactions with kids. I absolutely love speaking with them in the hallway, joining their table at lunch, attending fine arts events, rooting them on at sports events, attending pep rallies, the daily life of a middle school student. It is something truly special to get to experience that every single day, and I feel like I have the absolute best job that I could possibly have working with and leading with these amazing children. After a year of hard work, the time has come. We've opened our hearts and now we are ready to open our doors. Lake Houston Middle School, it's time to take flight.
Yeah, very good. And the star of the video, Miss Dawn Peter, is here. And I can tell you, you really like that because at Convocation, you were rocking it. I mean, you had everybody in secondary fired up. So thank you for your energy. We really appreciate that. I'd also like to commend the Humble ISD Associate Superintendent for Operational Support Services, Dr. Jason Seibert, and his team for having Lake Houston ready to go. What'd you get in June? Yeah, that is just unheard of to get in that early before the start of school. So congratulations to all of you for that. I would now like to invite our Chief Community Engagement Officer, Ms. Jerry Monbaron, to share with us the annual report from our Educational Foundation.
Thank you. So as part of the Memorandum of Understanding between Humble ISD and the Education Foundation, the Board of Trustees asked the foundation to come to them annually and give a report on the activities they have embarked on to support Humble ISD. So it is with pride that I'm going to ask our current chair of our Education Foundation, Dr. Calandra Purvis, to give that report to you tonight.
Good evening. I'm Calandra Purvis, and I have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the Education Foundation. I'm here to present to you the foundation's annual report for the fiscal year ending June 2025. You have a copy in front of you. For the rest of you, you can find this report on our foundation's website. Last year, the foundation celebrated 25 years. 25 years of creating pathways for our community to support Humble ISD educators and students. As the philanthropic arm of school districts, our message has been very clear. Supporting public education is one of the most powerful investments a community can make in its own future. When we invest in public education, we're investing in the success of our students, the strength of our economy, the well-being of our community. Everyone benefits when public schools thrive. And speaking of benefits, let's talk a little bit about the 24-25 school year in particular. I'm thrilled to report that the foundation raised $2.4 million last year. .41% of that, 41% is from our special events. Purse Bingo, which will be held this year, August 22nd, 2025. Our golf tournament will be November 3rd, 2025. We've also had our Humble Rodeo, barbecue cook-off, and our annual Boots and Blings where we celebrated our Teachers of the Year. Excuse me. 11% of the $2.4 million is from employee giving campaigns. We are grateful Humble ISD employees step up to help our educators in enriching the educational experience in our classrooms, and we hope more of our employees would join us in the endeavor when this year's campaign rolls out in October. So let's now quickly break down the financial support that was given to Humble ISD last year. We started off the school year by rolling out our first of two programs, our mini grants. We awarded $85,583 for a total of 362 mini grants. You can see on the screen some of the pictures of the grant winners, and although most of the grant requests came from teachers, we had a few support staff employees who submitted a grant request, and it was an honor to say yes to these people to go above and beyond. In May of last year, the Foundation Prize Posse awarded $298,537 for 60 innovative education grants. There were so many creative projects awarded this year, but I must mention one in the annual. I mentioned one in the annual report that was my favorite. It was called the Hoppy Unified Forums, and in this project, FFA students will work with students in our special needs department to raise and show rabbits. Special cages will be built to allow students to allow students who are using wheelchairs and other assistive devices to have access to the cages as they learn to care daily for these animals at school. What a great partnership between our FFA students and our special education program. And speaking as a former FFA parent, please keep the rabbits separate because they will start to produce more babies. And then, also last May, we awarded 295 students a scholarship, resulting in a total of $318,137 for the 24-25 school year. For clarification, we do not raise scholarship funds, but instead we allocate resources to make it a seamless process for donors and organizations to offer scholarships to our Humble ISD seniors. Thanks to various foundation partners, we now offer 84 different scholarship opportunities, and the foundation has now awarded over $1.4 million in student scholarships. There are many more ways Foundation supports Humble ISD, such as through scholarships to educators, assisting schools in raising funds through an annual fund campaign, to accepting donations on behalf of specific campuses, projects, and much more. So when you add up all the ways the Foundation financially supported Humble ISD educators and students last year, I am thrilled and overwhelmed to report that the 24-25 year Humble ISD received $1,292,683 from the foundation. Added to our lifetime total to support Humble ISD, we are now at $20.6 million. The $1.1 million difference between what was raised and what was awarded by June 2025 represents a variety of expenditures, including operating expenses, which are 7.7% of revenues, special event expenses, and also the 30% of all net dollars that are directed to an endowment that sits at currently $2.4 million. It is the foundation's intent to grow this endowment to $5 million before spending off interest earned to award even more grants to our Humble ISD educators. We recognize that our foundation wouldn't be as successful in fundraising if it wasn't for two critical components: our working relationship with our Board of Trustees, so thank you, and our district leaders. Secondly, employees who are committed to excellence every day. Our community sees that excellence in action from the high-quality education that their children receive and the decisions that our board make. We know that when our community supports our foundation, they are demonstrating their support of our teachers, our bus drivers, our leadership, and everyone in Humble ISD for the great job they do giving all students an educational experience that paves the way for success in life. I would like now to invite Mr. Mike Grabowski. Did I pronounce that correctly? Okay. Filling in for our president, Marcus Holmes, tonight with Dr. Rogers, our board liaison for the 24-25 school year, Chris Parker, our community engagement team, and all of my fellow foundation board members in the room to join us in front for a photo. Thank you.
All right, well, we certainly want to thank Dr. Purvis, the entire foundation board, Ms. Monbaron and her team for all the work they do to support our teachers and our students. That's just pretty impressive. So thank you for your dedication to Humble ISD for sure. All right, so at Humble ISD, we want our students to be college, career, and military ready when they graduate. Tonight, Humble ISD Senior Director of Personalized Student Success, Dr. Melissa Lee, is here to share information about the industry-based certifications that our students earned last year. And I think we actually have a recognition of one of those students. So we're excited about that.
So just for a little background knowledge, industry-based certifications are credentials that validate an individual's skill and knowledge within a specific industry and are aligned with recognized industry standards. Earning these IBCs during high school gives our students an opportunity to access to jobs and careers when they graduate. In Humble ISD, our students have the opportunity to take several IBCs, such as American Welding Society certifications, Vet Med applications, Adobe, Student Social Marketing, AutoCAD, Patient Care Technician, and many others. In the 24-25 school year, some of our highlights for IBCs were our students earned over 1,500 IBCs, which was an increase of almost 600 from the previous year. 97% of our graduating cosmetology students earned their cosmetology license. 97% of our students who took the Volunteer Income Tax Preparer certification passed the exams, and I can give their names if anybody needs help on their taxes. 100% of our students in our brand new dental assistant program earned their dental assistant permit, and over 100 Humble ISD students earned 2 or more industry-based certifications last year. But we have a very special guest with us tonight. I'd like to invite Harrison Alexander to come up and join me real quick. Harrison is a recent graduate of Humble High School. Yes, please give him applause. Harrison has the unique distinction of earning not only the CompTIA ITF, which is the foundational knowledge for IT, but he also earned the CompTIA A+, which is a globally recognized credential for IT professionals. He is the first student from Humble High School to achieve this distinction. And if we can take a moment, I'd like to have Mr. Grabowski, Dr. Brown, and Scott Ford is here as his teacher as well to come up and take a picture with Harrison.
All right, well, congratulations, Harrison, and to all of our career tech instructors. Thank you for all the work you do to help our students succeed, not only while they're with us, but once they leave us. And so we really appreciate that dedication. And Mr. Grabowski, that concludes our recognitions for this evening.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just, Mr. Ford, I don't think you get enough credit for all you've done. That's an absolute fruit of your labors right there. And I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. And I, for one, and I know everybody up here, appreciates all that you've done, all you've gone through. There's been some trying times at times, but thank you for persevering. And I know you'd agree, like, that's why you did it, right? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. The next item is public comment. The board encourages comments from citizens of the district or from district employees. Anyone wishing to speak, either as an individual or as a representative of a group, may do so following the procedure outlined on the agenda. The board asks that comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 3 minutes long. Remember that the board may not discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on our agenda for tonight's meeting. If an issue is listed on tonight's agenda, the board will defer discussion until the appropriate time during the meeting. So our first two speakers, if you come down two at a time, are Mr. George May and Ms. Tanya May.
Thank you, Trustee Grabowski. My name is George May. I've spoken at, I think, the meeting before last. I'd like to begin by saying how impressed I am by the administrative staff and by the Board of Trustees on how you have reacted proactively and openly on the issue of the legislature's mistake in forcing Humble ID to have two pay scales and having classroom teachers and teachers who are defined out of classroom teachers not getting the proper compensation. Y'all have all been very active. And Dr. Brown, I know, has reached out and discussed this issue with some librarians, and we appreciate how active y'all have been. Those of you who know me, I'm an attorney, and one of the things that I do as a part of my profession, and I am not an educator and I'm not a professional administrator, and please, I'm not telling any of you how to do your jobs. But I do statutory interpretation, and I've reviewed House Bill 2, and I've reviewed the Education Code as amended by House Bill 2, and it is clear to me that in a textual interpretation that any court would do, any librarian, and as you all know, my wife is a librarian, any librarian who has instructional time and meets the definition under Section 5.001 of having 4 hours of instruction time on average per day is a classroom teacher and is entitled in the text of House Bill 2, or the Education Code as amended by House Bill 2, for the full benefit of the TRA and not the SRA. The confusion I think that TEA is having is that the SRA section of House Bill 2 says that non-administrative staff for this section, the SRA section only, is defined as a classroom teacher who is a district employee, an educator employed by the district who is not eligible for the TRA previous section, including librarians. Well, the TEA apparently has taken that to mean that librarians are exempted or out of the TRA, and the text does not support that. But most importantly, Dr. Brown, the text supports that the state is supposed to reimburse Humble for anyone who meets the definition of a classroom teacher. I have my expert on elementary school librarians with me. Almost every elementary school librarian teaches more than 4 hours of instruction. And I bet some of the information technology instructors do as well. We need to get that money from the state, and we need to get that to our educators.
Good job. He was going to say that I did have just black on when we left home, that I was going to wear black until this got straightened out, but then I decided to put this orange on. So we're not doing that after all. Anyway, last time I spoke to y'all about my concern, and now my husband has said quite a bit of what I was going to say anyway, talking about, of course, the inequity compared to what are classroom teachers. And of course, he talked about the 4 hours on average teaching, whereas we also talked about last time my colleagues that are PE teachers, the art teacher, the music teacher. This is my schedule. Most days I teach 7 classes, and my schedule is exactly the same, exactly, not even 5 minutes different than the PE teacher, the art teacher, and the music teacher, teaching every single child in our school every day. So we already see that inequity. Also, some librarians were talking, and one of them couldn't be here today, and she asked me if I would please talk about and try to clarify. One of our librarians was going to have her child go to pre-K this year, and then this year we were supposed to have the free pre-K, and she was emailed by the pre-K and said they would happily have her child, but she would have to pay because she was not a classroom teacher. So then several librarians then, when they found out about that, are having children that would be in pre-K next year. And then one of them is really the one that wanted me to please say something about that, because now she's a fabulous librarian, and now she's considering leaving being a librarian for that reason, because of the difference. That makes even a bigger difference. That is like a raise if you're not paying for childcare, as I'm sure most of you know how much childcare is. Let me see. I think that's really I think I pretty well covered it, and what I didn't, my husband has already said. Thank you so much for listening to us tonight. And just like George said, I feel really good about what's happening. I talked to Dr. Brown earlier, and I've talked to some of the rest of you, and I feel good about what's going to happen and change for us. So thank you for listening.
Maybe our next two speakers, Mrs. Zavala and Ms. Sampley.
Good evening. Thank you, Board, for giving me the opportunity to speak before you and our community tonight. I have come with urgent and disturbing information. On our campuses, we have employees going incognito. We have employees who, according to the state of Texas, are not teachers. Employees who teach every day and teach every week to not a class of 20 or a grade of 100, but an entire school of students. These employees parading themselves as teachers, writing lesson plans, winning grants, and building relationships. These employees growing every student's literacy, writing, and thinking skills. These employees insinuating themselves into Teacher of the Year competitions and winning. One even taking the crown as Elementary Teacher of the Year for Humble ISD, and further claiming the title of Region 20 Teacher of the Year. Who are these people claiming a teacher's place in the hearts and minds of children across the district? Who are these people pretending to be teachers? We are librarians. And we are not posturing, we are not pretending, we are teachers. We always have been teachers. We always will be teachers. The state of Texas has recently earmarked funds for employees with a job code 087 and explicitly excluded employees with a job code 013. TEA defines an 087 teacher as a professional employee who is required to hold a valid teacher certificate or permit in order to perform some type of instruction to students. All librarians in Humble ISD are required to be certified teachers at the very least. Most have a master's degree in information and library science, as well as an additional K-12 school librarian certification. The TEA defines an 013 librarian as one who supervises library learning resources centers or functions as one of several librarians on a major campus. The specifics of this job are too many to list in detail, but in general terms, a librarian's library responsibilities are collection management, information literacy instruction, assisting with research and learning, reading promotion, library operations, technology integration, collaboration with faculty and staff, library admin and planning, as well as professional development. Our librarians in Humble ISD are fulfilling both of these job descriptions. I am asking the board for equitable treatment of Humble ISD's librarians. I understand the state codes, but what distant politicians at the state level say and what the Humble ISD school board should know are two different things. All of our elementary librarians see every student in their building, whether in full or flexible rotation. With the current inequity, a librarian teaching and lesson planning for all students and fulfilling all the duties described in both jobs will, in Humble ISD, make less money than their colleagues. Please realize as librarians, we're actually doing two jobs. There is nothing equitable about what is happening here, and there is something you can do about it. Several districts in the state of Texas have taken matters into their own hands, realizing that the classifications set up by the state do not make sense with what elementary school librarians are actually doing. I understand that the state sees us as a number, but I urge that you as our school board recognize the contribution that librarians make to our schools and to everything in your power to compensate us accordingly. Thank you.
Please hear them to the 10th power, those two speakers that were before me. My name is Gail Sampley, and I am a retired educator, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I am curious to know exactly how Humble ISD will be responding to the implementation of House Bill 1841 by Fairley now that Governor Abbott has signed it into law. Here are my questions. Number one, with phones and personal devices banned by state law, what is the district's plan to ensure that all students still have consistent access to learning technology during the day? Number two, is there currently a timeline or a task force in place to explore or implement a one-to-one device program across the district? In the meantime, is there a plan on how to best allocate existing devices? Number three, has the district assessed how this new law might impact student instruction and what supports teachers will need to adapt? Number four, how does the district plan to support students with online learning tools, Schoology assignments and videos, Google Classroom, digital textbooks, research tools, without allowing personal devices? Number five, can the board commit to reviewing existing one-to-one models in other Texas districts and presenting options to the public within a set time frame or special session? Number six, what funding options such as grants are being considered to support a one-to-one rollout? Number seven, can the community expect a public update or a proposal on a tech equity plan before the next board meeting? And number eight, can we ask for a TEA waiver to bring the personal computers that are already happening in the 2-to-1 framework that exists today until we can resolve the issues and roll out a plan for Humble? Those are the questions, and I look forward to your answers. Thank you. I have copies for each of you of my questions if I could leave them here.
Okay, our next two, please, Ms. Guide and Ms. Welsh.
Hello, my name's Beth Guide. I'm not here to yell about Mr. Kirchhoffer tonight, just so we know. Actually, I want to tell this lady here, she did a great job because she hit a lot of the things and she did it far better than what I could do. But when I was in school, every year my mother bought me notebooks so that we could take notes. Not that I did a great job of it and at least had a pencil and paper, but at the end of each day I would take that composite notebook home with me and review with my parents what I had learned. I never had to share my notebook or have other people's notes written in my notebook. They were tools for me to learn. Fast forward to 2025, the notebook of the 70s is now laptops, and they should have been treated by such by the school district and the superintendent. Yet, we were too busy overwhelming the rights of the people to vote, as well as allowing the superintendent, not you, Mr. Brown, the former one, to build mini Disneylands all over Humble. All with Humble ISD rather than to do what the districts like New Caney did and responsibly have one-to-one laptop policies. 2-to-1 is not acceptable and it needs to be rapidly corrected. I recently let Representative Cunningham know that I felt there was an issue with this part of the policy and was quickly told that we are providing students with laptops and this was a non-issue. But that really isn't the case. We aren't providing students with Chromebooks. Rather, we are providing students in classrooms with laptops, and then when they leave the classrooms, they're on to the next classroom and the next laptop, leaving behind the work they do, the notes they take, and not allowing them the opportunity to learn to organize their computers the way they see fit and that works for their learning styles. So remember my mom, this is the equivalent of me leaving my notebook behind and 5 other kids coming and using that notebook before I see it again. So I'm a little unhappy also to see that Kingwood had the least amount of laptops because their parents were providing them for the kids, and now under these guidelines, they will be the most compromised by this policy. Our district is failing all our kids with how this policy has been implemented, but the lackadaisical approach that has been taken and the lack of action to solve the problem. Just saying our kids have computers without actually understanding how this being implemented hinders every child outcome. But you know, as long as they can play on the playground, we're all good. In the end, the district needs to do everything it can as quickly as it can to have to the fullest extent of the law to make our kids whole and to put them on par with other districts. Humble has always outperformed New Caney, and now it lacks the action to put us in an inferior position to them and any other district that adequately planned for the policy and didn't put self-enrichment over student outcomes. Thank you and have a good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Brown and school board member, trustees. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Keisha Welch. I am a proud parent of a senior that will be at Summer Creek High School. Summer Creek High School is the largest high school, well, the largest campus within this district. We are busting at the seams. I am concerned that we are not a one-to-one campus. I know tomorrow when our students arrive on campus, their teachers will have a smile on their face, their administrators will greet them, and every single staff member on that campus would treat our children as their own. The concern is the unknown. I understand that state legislation has put this in place for our children, but how does this affect their learning? I'm concerned because we have students that are below income, that don't have the privileges as other students to have their own personal laptops. And not being a one-on-one campus, our learning is going to be affected. As I stand here as a senior parent, we have budgets. Every year the district comes out with a budget. Were we not prepared? We tell our kids, in order to be successful, come to school, bring the tools that you need to be successful. I spend most of my time planning around my son's academic and extracurricular activities. As an upcoming senior, I'm also concerned that certain activities, senior sunrise, graduation, those dates, location, we don't know. Everybody's social economic status is not based on the right then, the right now. Some people prepare for those events. Moving forward, I just ask that each of you take a step back and take in consideration parents and how they may have more than 1 or 2 kids in a class graduating. How we have parents right now that have taken in nieces and nephews and they're raising without support of other family members. Last-minute planning is not a tool to be successful. It's not a tool when you don't have the appropriate one-on-one learning equipment in the classrooms. Can we move forward and prepare so our kids can be successful? Thank you.
And our next 2 speakers and our last 2 speakers, Mr. and Mrs. Ford.
Hello, Scott Ford, former teacher, an author now. I'm glad I got a little time back there because I got a little clumped over Harrison. And I want to thank you all for recognizing CTE. These kids typically don't get the attention that our athletes get or our national scholars get, but these kids are working their butts off, giving up vacation time. I've got one student who is so excited he passed his 1101 exam. A student that would not be successful in your typical academic programs, his family and he has found a pathway to an adult job. I'm very proud of all my kids. So apparently I need more time. But I want to thank you guys for acknowledging these kids. They really worked hard on it. As far as the technology goes, and I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I don't envy the decisions that this district has to make because it really has been a perfect storm between the law banning all personal electronic devices and then Microsoft pretty much shutting down Windows 10 this year, causing a lot of our computers not to be functional by the end of this year. So you guys have some hard decisions. But now comes a little plug. The book just came out last week. It's already been a #1 in multiple categories in Amazon. This is for the Tech Plus certification. which aligns perfectly with the principles of information technology class, which my understanding is all the high schools have to have because it is the entryway to all the other IT certification programs. Over a year ago, I made the offer to license my curriculum to this district for free. Sadly, certain individuals in this district have made it very clear that they don't want anything to do with me, they don't want any part of this. I'm making this offer again. The books are on Amazon, though they're $35 for the soft copy, $45 for the hard copy. There's an ebook, but I'm more than happy to provide an electronic curriculum, which also works on an app, which is kind of not as valuable as it was last year, but I'm more than happy to provide this licensing for free. I don't see our CTE director here right now, but if the CTE department wants to reach out and coordinate this, I'm more than happy to. Again, it's about these kids, and it's about opening pathways to careers that they may not normally have. So thank you very much for the kind words, and thank you all for recognizing my students. Appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Christy Ford. I am a teacher in the district and married to Mr. Ford. So that means that every boot camp we gave and offered during all the breaks, I was there with these kids. And I was learning with them because I have my A+ as well. Harrison passed his the very first time. It has an 80% fail rate. That's why we get so emotional with these kids when they succeed. It took me 3 times to pass part 2 in order for me to get certified as an adult. So that's why I'm more impressed with what he did and with the kids that Mr. Ford taught. And focusing on CTE. Our theme for this year is focus on the good. So I challenge y'all to find the good in the CTE, those hidden certifications that these kids get. Welding, automotive, drones, computer certifications that go unrecognized. Take a look at those teachers that are getting all these IBS or IBCs. I'm elementary. Those are different acronyms for me. So just go out there, find them. They are busting their butts and doing their best for their students and don't get the recognition that other departments get. I just ask you, please, give them the recognition that they deserve. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for your comments. Our next item is comments by individual board members. And since it's his birthday, I'm going to start with Mr. Silva. First of all, happy birthday.
That was the opposite of what I asked for. Thank you for that. All right, so first of all, Mr. Ford got me choked up here, but I had a chance to talk to Harrison over the phone a couple weeks ago, and a great kid. And really excited. And thank you for everything, as Mr. Scarfa said, and everything y'all do for your kiddos. I also got to tour Lake Houston Middle School on Saturday. Let's go. Beautiful campus and a lot of teachers there on Saturday doing their thing, getting set up. So obviously a ton of really dedicated staff. I got to talk to your culinary teacher who was in the video. She was super excited, and so that was awesome. So thank you to those of you that set that up, Dr. Siebert, who I don't see, and Steph is back there. Those of you that helped me do that tour. I got to visit 7 different elementary campuses today with principal permission, and all Title I schools, and really excited for the beginning of the new year. This is my first year on the board, and so really, really excited to see all the success that's going to happen this year. And that's it. I'll turn it back to you.
Mrs. Parker.
Well, I'll keep it brief because I think we can have a short meeting tonight. I really do. But I just want to welcome everybody back to school. I just think that this is going to be the 2025-2026 year is going to be one of the best years we've ever had here in Humble ISD. We're going to focus on the good. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, great year. Convocation was amazing. Thank you, communications team. And I'm going to tell you what. At secondary convocation, Lake Houston brought it. They brought the energy, they brought the excitement. Everybody else did too, but you guys really did pump up the crowd, and I can't wait for tomorrow for you to have a wonderful, wonderful first day of school. So happy first day of school to everyone.
Mr. Scarfo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to also echo God's blessing on all our staff and on the campuses at the district as we start tomorrow in earnest, welcoming our customers. So that's going to be interesting. I just know it's going to be great. You guys all do such a great job. And keeping with the CTE theme, Dr. Lee, I just want to suggest, I've been reading about some programs that have been going on and some maybe we should look into to add to the curriculum. One is maritime vocational path, and then also another in water operations management. These, and I had a really great conversation with Dr. Hicks last week at convocation. We kind of have a same heart for this in terms of CTE, and I think it's something we do. And as Mrs. Ford said, do a lot more celebrating about what happens. We do it in other areas, but not as much as I'd like to see in certain areas. So we need to continue to do that. So I just think it's something we need to always be looking at. It can't be like a fixed, here's the 20 different paths. We got to be always, what do we add, what do we delete? We got to be looking at that all the time. We got to keep up with the world around us and what the economy is driving. So hopefully we will do that going ahead and just coming up with ideas. I know money's always a concern. And thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Mays, for your speaking. I'm glad we're able to move the needle there. And I don't think, no one contested the idea of what librarians do, near and dear to my heart. And And I've always been real happy that, unlike some districts, we didn't get ourselves in a position where we had to cut librarians from campuses. That was always a priority for years and years, so I've always been happy about that it's been. So hopefully we can get that kink fixed in the armor and move forward. And I'm just going to leave it at that, Mr. Grabowski.
Thank you, Mrs. Scarfo. Mrs. Shaw.
I'll go next. Thank you again. I just want to echo welcome back to everyone for the 2025-2026 school year, praying for each of our kids, our staff, our administration. I mean, there's so many people that make the bus move. And we are moving forward in a positive direction. We're focusing on the good, not just the good of the day, but the good of making those step changes and that growth that we're already starting to see. So looking forward to 2025 and 2026. Also want to just thank the Education Foundation. I have watched them for years figure out ways to get money from different sources and make it happen for teachers every day, and students and staff and campuses. So thank you for that, and thank you for the report that you gave. It was amazing. Convocation. My first convocation, so I'm going to say it's the best convocation because it's my first convocation, right? I don't have anything to compare it to, but thank you to our staff, our admin, to our communications team. They hit it out of the park. The STEP teams were amazing. The energy that they brought was amazing. Each campus brought energy and spirit. I don't know if they were coerced to or told to, but they did a great job. So just thank you for that. The other piece is just the staff of the entire Lake Houston family. I mean, they are a family and they just got together and that was evident. So thank you for your leadership. It's amazing, and it shows. So it's going to be a great year for you. I'm sorry I didn't get to tour. I was taking a kid back to college, so been a little preoccupied, but I'm going to come there. So, yeah, thank you. At the next one, yes, I will be there. Harrison and Scott Ford, thank you so much, Scott, for investing in these kids and believing in them. Thank you to Harrison. I know he's already gone, but just for making that commitment and taking the time to do what he did. And we need to, there's so many great CTE programs. And there's so many kids doing some amazing things on the smallest level and on the biggest level, and we need to highlight those when we can. I will continue to ask for us to continue to have on the agenda, if we possibly can, every single time, something that's focused on student outcomes and student initiatives. It is what we are here about. We're not here about anything else. There's so many things that can show up on a consent agenda, construction, this, that, the other. But we are here about student outcomes and student focus. So if we can constantly have that as a board item every single time, I'm going to be harping on it and asking for it because it's important and our teachers need to be highlighted. So I'd encourage our admin to look for things that are different, that are new, that's focused on growth and step changes and bring that to the table. And making sure we're doing that and making sure our community knows that we're doing that. Because I don't think people get to see what the good is. They only hear about the bad, right? So that's another thing. I want to also thank all the public comments. Everybody did a great job. Respectfully, came with a lot of thought. The librarian aspect of moving things forward, the one-to-one, it was amazing. So thank you for that because we need to hear from you and we need to hear from you in that manner. I'm going to speak a little bit about just a few minutes as a concerned parent and a new board member who ran for student outcomes and someone who wants to see our student success under the realities of this new law. With the new state law banning phones and personal communication devices during the school day, we've entered a new era, one that demands serious response from our district. At the secondary level, and I'm not going to go on and on because everyone's kind of talked about it a little bit, but students are moving, and I'm a parent of students that have gone all the way through Humble ISD, and I still have a senior at Kingwood High School at the secondary level. They move from class to class, and their learning is not confined to a single classroom or period. Yet the current system that we have today forces them to rely on shared carts that may or may not be available and cannot follow them from one subject to the next. They're expected to access assignments, take notes, conduct research, complete projects without a consistent and reliable device. This has created confusion, disruption, and frankly, inequality.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, just a point of order. Council, are we getting a bit into discussing a topic that's not on the agenda? I just don't want us to.
No, I guess we don't have to. So that's fine. All I'm going to say in my last statement is a 2-to-1 system may have been manageable before. It's not now. So under the law, I would like for us to have on the next board agenda as a date of when is the next board meeting,
Point
Karen?
of order.
This isn't the time.
Point of order.
Point of order. I'm not supposed to ask for it at this point. Yeah.
Mrs. Parker, what's your point?
There's a point in the agenda
Okay,
to
my
do
apologies.
future board business,
Yeah,
and it's
okay.
at the end of the meeting. And you're brand new, this
Brand
is
new
your.
to it.
Mrs.
So I
Shaw,
do know.
Mrs. Parker
So-
has the floor.
So anyway, but thank you so much, but there will be a point
Okay.
at the end of the meeting where you can add, thank you.
Okay. I will apologize. I am new, and I didn't know that there was a point of order for that. Thank you again for all the public comments, and I will bring that back at that point. So.
That all? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Kirchhoffer.
Mr. President.
Acting.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow, welcome back, everybody. Jerry, Deborah, I see here, Calandra, I don't see Tracy's back there. The Education Foundation, the presentation, amazing. So many people, what you do for the district, for the kids, for the grants, it's remarkable. Speaking of remarkable, I want to shed some light on Rick Gardner, and I know it's the campus coordinators, principals, but we enter the school year at a 98% fill for the teachers, 98%. There's only 82 positions open district-wide as we enter tomorrow morning. And from all the trustees, you've been busting your butt, and we appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirchhoffer. I have a wife, as you all know, that is a teacher in the district and a daughter who's in high school, and they called last night because tonight they have to go to bed to go to school. They called last night, I heard her talking to all the girlfriends. It's the last night of freedom. So that's what the teenagers are saying, so it was pretty cute hearing her say it. But I have a couple of questions there for you, Mrs. Peter. How many cups of coffee did you have making that video? And number two, just how can you run faster than me in those shoes? It was terrific. Thank you for going through and doing what you do. It was a fantastic display of your new open school, and best of luck tomorrow as you open your doors to the children when they come walking in. Thank you. And to the whole communication team, it's been said, convocation was amazing. I haven't been here that long, but it is absolutely the best one I've been to. And the front row right there, Mrs. Mount, Mr. Koch, Mr. Fry, thank you very much, all of you. And was it me who wasn't smiling in the picture earlier? Okay, thank you. I take that kind. But thank you all. And I want to point out somebody who hides behind the scenes, but does a whole lot of work and makes everything happen. Mr. Odom, can you come out here for a minute, please? Oh, you're only going to wave? Okay, okay. But I need people to see just how tall you are because, you know. But I'm going to read some of the things that he does that we never get to see. Okay, he's on his way out. But
Mr. Grabowski, while we have a moment, can
Yes,
I say
ma'am.
something? I am so thankful for the Education Foundation, and I got to work with you guys this year, and you guys are just awesome, and I am so sorry for failing to say that, so thank you so much. And welcome to the new Fine Arts Director.
Hello, Mr. Odom, Rusty to everybody. This is what he puts together, the man behind the scenes, coordinating all the technology and all the issues, all the board meetings, Turner Stadium events for football, soccer, track, other, graduations, including at NRG, convocation, which we all just experienced, 3 annual signing days, Night of Champions, Ask an Expert podcast in both languages, Fill the Bus each year, Junior Olympics, which is over 11,000 athletes and 60,000 fans, raised $82,000 with the booster clubs with concessions. You saved $1.1 million for the district, partnering up with Houston Sports Authority for audiovisual infrastructure upgrade at Turner. Mr. Beatty, does that get him officially on your Christmas card list? Getting close, I bet. And you never get seen. I want everybody to finally, you get your recognition that you have been absolutely amazing. But I have one more question for you because I asked Mr. Beatty a very technical question the other day. We wanted to know how old he was, and he nailed it. He's 41. How tall are you? 6'7". Wow, thank you. Thank you for all you do, sir. Thank you. It's coming to you.
And that 82,000 went to the district this
Yep.
time.
No comment. Okay, our next item is comments by the administration. Dr. Brown?
I'm 5'7". I just thought I'd throw that out. And that's with a good pair of boots. Well, I did want to read this because I received this this summer, that Humble ISD is a Texas Art Education District of Distinction for the 7th consecutive year. And get this, over 1,000 districts in the state of Texas. Only 16 districts in the state have accomplished this for 7 years consecutively. And this places our visual arts program in the top 1.3% of all visual art programs in Texas. So a shout out to all of those teachers and Sandra Newton, the assistant director. And so that's just pretty awesome. And while we're on fine arts, I'd like to welcome Dr. Joe Clark, our new fine arts director. So thank you for being here. All right, everybody said it, but I want you to know Jamie and her team did an amazing job. It takes hours to put, and I didn't realize that, but it takes hours to put convocation together. And so thank you to all that participated in that. And a huge thank you to the team, to the principals, to the staff that have been working over the last few days to have school ready. If you've been out into the schools, they're ready to go. And so we're excited about that tomorrow, and we'll welcome 48,000. Billy, we're going to say 48,500. We're going to go for that. Yeah, we're going to go for that extra 100. So 48,000, hopefully 500 students tomorrow. And thank the board for helping us get there. And so we appreciate that. And that'll end my comments. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Moving on to our next agenda item, action items from closed session. Item 4A, personal recommendations. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the administration's personnel recommendations as presented in closed session with addendum.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Parker. Any discussion? All those in favor? Vote is unanimous, 6-0. Consider approval of the settlement in the Williams v. Humble Independent School District, cause number 202536044 in the 125th Judicial District Court of Harris County. Moving, Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the settlement offer in Williams v. Humble Independent School District et al., cause number 202536044 in the 125th Judicial District Court of Harris County, Texas, and delegate authority to the superintendent to finalize and execute all agreements and take all actions necessary for the same as discussed in closed session.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous, 6-0. It passes. Okay, on to the consent agenda. If somebody wants to pull, please say it loud enough so I can hear it, and I'll just keep on moving right on through. Okay, item 5A, approval of the minutes for the July 15th, 2025 regular board meeting. Consent. Item Bravo, approval of the minutes of the July 21st, 2025 special board meeting.
Pull.
Okay. Item Charlie, approval of the minutes of the June 21st, 2025 board workshop.
Pull.
Approval of goods, professional services, and non-constructive services exceeding $50,000 in the aggregate or $25,000 individually. Item Echo, 2025-2026 construction and construction-related purchases. Item Foxtrot, budgetary transfers and amendments. Item Golf, tax refunds, overpayments, and paid in error. Hotel, board authorization of interlocal agreements. India, approval of additional vendors related to RFP number 2021-009-1, restaurant and catering. Juliet, approval of vendors related to RFP 2026-104, educational and consulting services. Kilo, approval of vendors related to RFP 2026-105, general merchandise. Item Lima, general contractor, selection of Humble High School serving lines. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve consent agenda items 5A through 5L exclusive of pulled items 5B and 5C.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, our first pulled item was item 5, Bravo. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the minutes of the July 21st, 2025 special board meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Mrs. Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I pulled the item because in over 4 years, that's the first time I ever missed a meeting. And it was during the workday and I couldn't get out of work, and so I need to abstain on that vote.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? So it's 501. Okay, item 5C was also pulled. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion, please?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the minutes of the July 21st, 2025 board workshop.
Do I have a second? Second. Any discussions? Mrs. Scarfa.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I pulled that only because I just wanted to take a moment That was the workshop where we're working on goals with senior staff, campus staff. And I just wanted to say, Dr. Brown, Mr. Perkins, everyone who was involved in that, either in that session with us that afternoon or was working, building up to that with Dr. Price, thank you very much. I know I made a point to thank you guys after, but I just wanted everyone to know that that really was a great blast off to where we're going with that ongoing project that will never cease. And I'm looking forward to the next session we have coming up in 2 weeks, I think it is. And I think it'll just be us at that point and some of you may not be real happy because you'll be saying, what are they talking about now? But thank you so much for what you did. And Ms. Shaw, just so you know, I've been pushing that and Mr. Silva mentioned that at our workshop since I got back on board, so 6 years ago. Because if you go through the EISO training, Evaluating and Improving Student Outcomes, is one thing it tells you is that you should be spending as much time on an education item at each meeting as you do on the business of the district, if you will. Never really got anywhere with that. I hope that that's going to change, and when we have our discussion coming up, I'm going to push that's part of that discussion, that we do that, because we need to be doing that. And I'm not someone to give up on things very easily, and I've kind of stuck with it, and I think maybe it may finally come to fruition, because that's a very important thing for us to be doing as a board, because after all, that's our business. It's educating students. It's educating our kiddos and supporting staff, making sure we have the resources. But we need to talk about it. The community needs to know what you guys are doing. You do such great work each and every day. And I don't mean, and I never, as I asked for that in the past, it was never to give you guys more work to do, to have to come up with another dog and pony show. Just pick a topic. I mean, you do so many things, and it just, maybe a 10-minute whatever, and we could have a discussion about it and talk and ask questions. You can tell us what you need, because we're supposed to set the outcomes. You guys set the inputs and the outputs. And that's, I'm so happy that we may actually start to do that. So I'm fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything else. Thank you for now. I know at least I have one more person at this table who thinks we should be doing that. And I know the rest of you do too, and administration. And like I said, not to make more work for you guys, but to get us really focused on what we should be focused on. So thank you. And that's why I wanted to pull it, just to thank you guys for really getting us jump-started on this process.
All those in favor? Unanimous, 6-0. Okay, action items, committee appointments. Item 6 alpha. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve committee appointments for 2025 through 2026 as proposed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Kirchhoffer was the second. Second ahead of you, second. Any discussion? Mrs. Scarfo?
Mr. Chairman, just quickly to remind all of the committee chairs what we agreed to when we voted, I guess it was at the last regular board meeting, that we will all make sure we review our stated purpose and scope of work of the committees, and that they will be presented to the entire board by either September or October meetings, because I think that's really important, because I don't believe and we have some new committees that we, over the last year and now this year, there's another new one added, as you can see, and we've picked Ms. Shaw to chair that. So we do need to have the stated purpose and scope of work so the entire community knows what we're supposed to do, and also the board, because in the past there's been some friction at times, like, well, you're supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, and I think this way we review it. Some of them I think are probably fine the way they stand, but I just want to remind everybody that we all agreed that we would do that by September, October, to bring that forward if you are the chair. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other comments? All those in favor? It's once again unanimous, 6-0. Item 6 Bravo, 2025-2026 Student Code of Conduct. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve the 2025 to 2026 Student Code of Conduct.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? And 6-0. Okay. Next is our information items. Item 7A, Intruder Detection Audit Report. Mr. Perkins?
Yes, sir. I have nothing to report tonight.
Okay. Any comments from the board on this discussion item? Nothing. Okay. Item 7B, Report of Management Fees Paid Under Cooperation Purchasing Contracts. Any questions from the board regarding this item? Item 7C, 2025-2026 Parent-Student Handbook. Any questions from the board regarding this item? Mrs. Scarfo.
Mr. Chairman, I would just want to echo to all our parents out there, please go through these with the handbook and the student code of conduct. There have been changes made, and you can see them on the red line versions here, but please, they're not just there to be put on the shelf. Make sure your students are familiar, that you're familiar. They're not there just for the heck of it. They're there for reasons. And it's not good to find out something when something's already occurred. Information is power, as they say, so please take a look at those documents. They're very easy to access.
Just one comment.
Mrs.
Mr.
Shaw.
Perkins, thank you for, your staff has done a really good job of highlighting the red line items and making sure they're visible on campus. So, and Ms. Erb and elementary and secondary, they've done a really good job of making sure people know what those changes are, and that's what I'm hearing. So thanks for that push.
Any other comments? Mr. Silva.
Yeah, I just want to echo the thanks to Dr. Brown and whoever on your team helps with answering my emails. I went through every single line and even was sending like, hey, I found a small typo here or whatever. So y'all answered all my questions. And I just really appreciate y'all's time. Whoever helped you out with that, thank you.
No, you're thinking someone helped me out? They did, actually, and you know that. Great team here, great team.
And just for the record, all of those small non-substantive changes will be in the final versions of this when they go to campuses in the morning.
Okay, item 7 Delta, Financial Services Report. Any questions from the board regarding this item? You have anything to report, Mr. Beatty? Other than your Christmas list has increased by 1?
That, and all we have tonight is a tax collection report. We got great community members paying their taxes. That's all I have.
And also, Ms. Jones and her staff do a great job. I mean, look at those numbers. I mean, we're at 98.5 for the 24 tax year. It's really good, really, really good. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Beatty, in all seriousness. Okay, coming here towards the meeting closing, consideration of topics for future board business. Are there any topics for future board business?
Turn. Turn, so I'll come back in turn. But just, I think, going back to Mr. Scarfo's point, I'm going to keep it brief. Everyone wants to go home and get school started tomorrow. Student outcomes, if we can have an agenda item every single time on student outcomes in our board agenda. I'd love to see the first one and ask to see the first one in the next board meeting in September, where we're focused on that. It doesn't have to be a long list of things. It can just be 1 or 2 things that highlights growth, progress, step changes, things that are on your goals. And we're targeting that so people in the community can see what we're doing and how we're doing. Focusing on the good can't just be for us, it's for everyone else to see what we're accomplishing. The second is the 2-to-1 may have been, I think we need to
Ms.
put.
Shaw,
1 to
you
1.
only do 1 at a time.
Oh, I can only
because
do
then we'll
1.
see if we have an appetite.
one at a time.
Well, you can do 2, but we need to. Okay. Not yet, not yet. Yeah, does the board have an appetite for that? Evaluating student outcomes.
I would say we probably should wait till we have our next workshop before we commit to that at this point, so we can
Any other comments? Okay.
Not to get into a
Who
debate.
has an appetite for that, for putting it on the next agenda? Yep, next regular agenda.
So I will say, at the next board meeting, we do plan on having a presentation on the accountability ratings that'll be released and kind of the work that's going on there, so, which will be good based upon the work we do on August 26th for the goals and that kind of thing, so. Yeah, that's going to be the next, so anyway, that's coming.
Okay. Anybody with an appetite? One more time. Okay, it's 3-3. It does not pass. Your second item?
Is on the agenda to have a one-to-one. It's not, we're not asking for overnight miracles, but a plan in place to show what we're doing in moving towards a one-to-one plan. What is that? And just a report back on where we are. And that would be on the September agenda item.
Is there an appetite for that? Or any other discussion on that? Or questions? Okay. Anybody have an appetite for that on the September agenda?
I have an appetite for it. Are we voting on an appetite?
Okay, yeah,
Just
I had a question.
vote.
It's just an up or down. Okay, I'm sorry, it does not pass. 4-2.
Okay. In a different way for another item. So is there an appetite for doing a special session where we focus on talking about technology and what that one-to-one plan looks like as we move forwards to building equity, not just for our students here in Texas, but bringing them to where everybody else is in the rest of the state? We've heard a lot in public comment on this. We've heard that the 2-to-1 system may have been manageable before, but it's not now.
Okay, is there an appetite for that, for a special meeting on it? All those in favor, if you want to say yes? Okay, it does not pass, 4-2.
All right.
Any others for?
Mr. Grabowski, can I say
Yes,
one
ma'am.
thing? So we have a committee structure in place, and so lots of these things will be discussed in committee and brought to the full board. So just because we didn't vote for it doesn't mean that we're not going to do it. It's just, it needs to go in the proper process.
The technology committee would take that up first, and I'm sure they'll be working on that post haste.
Okay, anybody else for future board business? Mr. Silva, happy birthday again.
Thanks. Okay, so just one sentence to kind of background. At the end of last school year, we heard from some parents who felt that celebrations were a little inconsistent across programs who won a state title or equivalent of that. So my request for future business is to have the administration and his team present either proposed policy or manual update. I know with staff changes, maybe October of 2025 in that meeting, that could establish a clear, equitable district protocol to celebrate any UIL-sanctioned state championship or comparable UIL-recognized state-level achievement, just ensuring that the same standard for every program across fine arts, athletics, and academics. Thanks.
That's for the October of 2025 board meeting?
Yeah, I had initially wrote September, but because of staff changes.
Okay. And you have an appetite to support that proposal? That's 6-0 to support, be on the October agenda. Anybody else with future board business? Well, I have one. I was in touch with a Mrs. Brooke Baugh. This is for the October board meeting too, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And she runs a program called Project Mammogram, which for those with minimal insurance or no insurance, they're able to get mammograms for women that are in our district. And it doesn't end there. If there is some discovery on that mammogram, the help goes even further than just a discovery. I don't know the details, so I don't want to get into it, but I'd like Mrs. Brooke Baugh to come in October, which is, like I said again, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, to give a presentation as an information item so that the women of the district can hear just what help is out there for them if they're unable to have insurance or are minimally insured. Is there an appetite to put that on the October agenda? Okay, it's 6-0. Any other future board agenda items? Okay. Well, it's up to adjournment. The time is now 8:28. The meeting is now adjourned.